Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2015 teen horror, I'll describe it as, Down a Dark Hall, that stars, just give it a sec, Anna Sophia Robb, who you'll recognise from things like Soul Surfer, and she's been Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, and Uma Thurman. And it is based on the popular novel, which I didn't know until I'd watched it. And this is a strange blend of, it feels like that film, a cross between that film, that Miss Peregrine's School for Particular Children, I'm not sure, I think that's the title, and Harry Potter. It's like a strange blend between those two. And it tells the story of Kit, a teenage girl, a troubled teenage girl that's constantly getting into trouble. She's accused of trying to burn down her school, and she is offered the place at this special school, basically a school for young troubled girls that, if you go, promises to turn you around and make you into this extraordinary child. She doesn't want to go, obviously, but she has to go, and Uma Thurman is this headmistress there, with this strange, I don't know if it's Russian-Romanian accent that doesn't really work. And all these other girls turn up. I think there's 5 or 6 of them in total. There's not many, and this huge building, and they're all of a similar ilk to Kit, in the sense of they're all troublemakers in their own way, and they're all, as Uma Thurman promises them, if they toe the line and they do as they're asked, they'll make them extraordinary. So they do. And what happens basically is each of them, it turns out, has a hidden skill in a certain area. One turns out to be brilliant at mathematics. Kit turns out to be brilliant at music. One's brilliant at art. One's brilliant at poetry, and all these talents start appearing with them slowly and surely. But it comes with a side effect, like psychological side effects, and it basically isn't good for them. And Kit notices these strange things going on in the house. He hears these strange voices, especially down a dark hall, and slowly but surely she suspects that something more sinister is going on, and investigates further. And slowly but surely, yes, the home has a bit of a dark secret that essentially isn't healthy for any of these girls. And that's all I'll say on the plot of the movie, because I don't want to spoil it. To be honest, guys, this is a very, very difficult film to review in a lot of ways. One side of it, one negative side of it, is it's an absolute jumbled mess that isn't frightening, with some dodgy performances. Uma Thurman's performance was very odd to me, didn't work. I thought Anna Sophia Robb, her performance was very good. I think she carried the movie really well. I think she did a good job. But it just felt a bit unfocused, this film. And I don't know the novel, so I don't know how closely they followed the novel. And I don't know how old the novel is. But some novels don't translate well, I don't think, to modern day movies. And I think this might be an example of that. And I've seen another one recently, that Fahrenheit 451, I think it was. I don't think that translated well to a modern day movie. It just was nonsensical, the plot. And this, even though this was probably written well before Harry Potter and things like that, it just feels like a cheap rip-off of other things, which is probably a little bit unfair, because it was probably, like I say, written before the other stuff. I just don't think it translated particularly well to the screen, this movie. Now, if they'd have gone down a more mature route with this film, because there was potential here for it to be frightening, I'll say that, because there was a couple of moments where you're genuinely interested as to what's going on, and it goes down a more frightening route, and it could have worked if they'd have gone down a more mature route with this film. But they've gone down that tame teen horror route. So, there's no blood, there's no real genuine scares, and it's a real letdown. But on the other side of it, it's really well made, it's got a good production value behind it, good good. It's got a good amount of money behind it. It should do better with the cast it's got, and there are some interesting stuff going on in the movie, and it looks different and it looks a bit unique at times. So it's got this strange blend where there's these nice ingredients that do work and ingredients that don't work. It's like someone's decided to follow a recipe and use half of the ingredients and chuck the other half away, or put different ingredients in, and the recipe hasn't worked. So it almost feels like this film is there is a good film in here trying to get out. It feels a little bit unfocused to me, a little bit disjointed. That might have something to do with the editing as well. I wasn't convinced with the editing, and some of the performances didn't really hold my attention and draw me in. And the actual reveal, the mystery, if you like, the reveal when it comes about, didn't. I don't know. It's difficult to say whether it worked or not. I'm not sure if that's the right thing. It just didn't do anything for me. It just didn't make an awful lot of sense. If these girls are here for this particular reason, what the hell's happened to all these other girls previously that's been at the school? Even though there is some evidence to suggest what's happened to some of them. So, yeah. It didn't do an awful lot for me, this movie, guys. But I'm not saying it's a bad movie, because I don't think it is a bad movie. But I can see this being instantly forgotten by everybody that watches it and barely making an impact anywhere. So for me, guys, it's a pretty mediocre 6 out of 10. And I did toy about this. I did think a lot about the score here for this one, because it was almost a 5 out of 10. But I think it just rises above that. So it's a 6 out of 10 for me, guys. I just didn't find this film particularly entertaining, but it does have some fascinating ideas going on. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.